Hi, I'm Jacob Noble. This is the Noble Super Vee 30 Pilothouse, powered with twin 300 horsepower Suzuki engines. It was a good run across this morning, sitting on around 30 knots into a 10-knot east northeast breeze with a bit of leftover sea.
And it's deceptive.
Yeah, it is quite deceptive. Yeah, that is the one thing that gets me every time, doing 30 knots and feels like you're doing 20. Yeah, it's quite amazing. The stats is it's 9.1 metres in length, it's 3 metres in beam, it's 4.5 tonne on trailer, that's empty, 10 people, 2C survey, unrestricted. Really built more for the commercial market, but can also be quite a nice recreational vessel as well. There's over 2,000 hours in welding and fabrication. I weld all the boats from start to finish, all the hulls. I have an apprentice that's outside handing me things and doing all the odd jobs. And another tradesman, Isaac, my brother, he's welding fuel tanks and cabins. All stringers and frames under deck are fully welded, continuously welded both sides, so there's many hours of welding. Everything above the floor is stitch pattern, except for all the sealed bulkheads. Even the roof of the cabin is built to handle 2 tonne of water. It's only a small shop, but you know, we get a few of these 30-footers out each year, and that's enough for us to keep busy. It goes all the way back to the sports fish days when my father bought the business, and then it was Super Vee, basically just a progression, and we just redesigned the Super Vee again, just a few aspects that we wanted to improve. This was a full redesign by myself and my designer Jens. We worked together on the project. Twin 300s match this vessel perfectly. It does 43 knots at full throttle, and it cruises on 30 knots quite comfortably. Before we had a 24 degrees dead rise in the hull, now we've got a 21. It's more of an all-round hull. Whether the old vessel went good in one direction, this goes good in all directions. It's a good combination. It's not too much V where we're using too much power, and it's enough V that we're cutting through the water quite nicely.
You've run a planing surface, a thin planing surface or plank, sort of most of the length of the boat?
Yeah, it does a few things. It makes the vessel more efficient, and it also stops us from broaching downwind when we're running down big swells. Increases its turning circle quite a lot. When you're in a critical situation in the bar and you need to power out of that situation, you can basically full throttle down, full turn and get out of there. That was the main objective to putting the plank on, and the other ones were kind of bonus.
Just that tracking ability, just tracks really nice and steady.
If it gets a cross wave, it doesn't want to follow it, it just wants to keep going where it's going. The vessel is a double chine, which allows you to have more of a steeper V in the boat, and offers a softer ride. And the double chine basically reduces the surface area of your vessel when it's planing. So basically that creates less water surface area under the boat. So we're flying off the inside chine when we're on the plane. And when we're at rest, we're sitting on the outside chine. This is the Relaxn Deluxe Reef Series seat. It's a beautiful product and we use it in all our boats. Their seats have always been really good quality and they've stood up the test of time. Also combined with the suspension, it is a perfect seat for this vessel.
What does the suspension do when you're going through a decent sea?
This enables you to go further. Basically, if you want to drive to a spot which is 100 mile out, you can do it in comfort. I recently did a trip from Yamba to Brisbane here, and I sat on 28 knots the whole way. And that was a 400-mile journey, and I used 400 litres. Pilothouse is one of my favourite cabins because of the screen leaning forward, the less reflective at night time, more shade in the day, and even the seating on the port side is lower than the seating on the starboard side, so the skipper's always got good vision. You can see every boat that's coming, so my head is just above everybody else's head, which is only a small detail, but for the skipper driving all day, it's a huge difference. It is so important for a workboat to have good visibility. The rocker wipers are a fundamental part of a Pilothouse cabin. All stainless steel, no corrosion, perfect operation. They're only little simple things, but they make a big difference. We try not to overcomplicate the dash. We've got the AOS unit, we've got the VHF, we've got the Garmin main screen, and also the Suzuki gauges with the Relaxn wheel in the center. I really love the stainless steel wheel, easy to keep clean, and we really prefer to have the knob for one-handed work. It leaves you the ability to hold on with your other hand, operate the screen. Generally, yeah, it's probably my favorite wheel. A normal lock-up cabin can be quite hot, and to be sitting in comfort right now with the shade on the dash, you know, we put lots of hatches in the roof and the windows are quite large. They're like 2.2 meters in length, you know, in the side window. And it just creates ventilation for the vessel, and also having that forward raking screen just stops the heat from landing on the dash and all your instruments getting hot, and enables you to charge your phones on the dash without them overheating. And we also bring the roof shear line down so it drops our window height, which gives us more shelter from the sun and from the weather. Just makes it overall more comfortable to be inside the cabin. And we try and keep things as simple as possible. All our plumbing is accessible, all our wiring is accessible. We don't hide anything, we make everything a feature. The welding's a feature. We love using all the weld-in Sam Allen hardware, but we just know they're not going to break. You know, if we were going to use a plastic fitting there, we could have trouble, but with this weld-in fitting, this will last as long as the vessel. It could last 50 odd years. But basically we drill a hole, we sand the fitting, and then we weld it in. And we also do the same with the cleats. They're a welding cleat from Sam Allen. And then also we weld in some pads for the support for the hinges, which are also a Sam Allen product, and the latches as well. The Relaxn outriggers we've been using the whole time, ever since we've been in business, and we love using them, and the customers want to use them, which makes it easy for us. You could mount these switches externally, but I find them much better to be mounted internal inside one of the Sam Allen hatches. We run a 3 battery system, 2 separate start batteries, one for port, one for starboard engines, and a house battery, all charged through twin solar panels on the roof. With all our circuit breakers here, everything's labelled so anybody can hop on board this vessel and know that that is our house battery, that is our starboard battery, this is our parallel, and these are all our circuit breakers, all identified. And it just makes it easy for any skipper to hop on board this vessel and work out how to operate the vessel. We love using the black Sam Allen hatches. They seal perfectly, they're a great hatch. They're nice and light, so we're not adding too much weight to the vessel. You know, I could build a custom aluminium hatch here, but this is lighter and better seal. We drill and tap all our hatches, we don't use screws. We do the same thing there, we drill and tap threads into the boat, so if you need to do any maintenance by pulling this off, it's a simple unscrew. The thread won't damage, so you can just simply put the screw back in. So it doesn't matter if it's 20 years down the track, it will still be the same product. You'll be able to fit the hatch perfectly each time. Also the colour, we love the black trim on contrast to the grey aluminium. It's an easy way of making it look good. All the Sam Allen pumps on board this boat and all the hoses are a great product. It is a luxury having both a saltwater pump and a freshwater pump on board. So if you want to have a shower, you can have a shower. If you want to wash the deck, you know, add to the slurry. But not only does it wash the floors, it runs a live bait tank. And the freshwater pump runs our bathroom and also runs our sink at the stern of the vessel. We love using Sam Allen Wholesale and the Relaxn product line. From your rod holders to your cup holders, to your deck cleats, to your weld-in bungs, all the plastic hatches, the seating, the suspension seating, the steering wheel, the list just goes on. All the gear's top notch. All our customers love it, we love it. I really do love using those guys. Easy to work with, you know, they're going to ring you straight back, always deliver on time, and just generally good people to deal with.
The joins and just how clean everything is, you've sort of taken it to the next level.
Yeah, we go to a lot extra time sanding every part before we assemble it. We just use quite a simple product, Penetrol, which has been around for years, and you rub it on with a rag and you slightly rub it off, but you do need to do a lot of hours in sanding before you do that, and you can't over-weld the vessel. It has to be straight because there's no bog or fillers or anything. So there's more man hours in the fabrication side of things. With the end result, the vessel is a lot cleaner and more simple. And yeah, it's just a finish that we love. It's easier for you to look after the boat as the owner. There's less maintenance because there's not much paint. You know, we use a lot of deck tread, a lot of the EVA foam decking. Makes the boat feel a lot softer. The survey requirements are quite tricky at this length in the smaller vessels. They're hard to meet. The 2C survey unrestricted is the same standard that you would have a police boat or a rescue boat. To meet survey, we have to, obviously we need as many people on the boat as we can, to a degree. As well as the amount of people, they calculate the windage of the side of the vessel. This one calculated it for 50 knots of breeze, it needed 400 kilos on the side to represent that 50 knots. So we have 10 people down one side of the vessel, 400 kilos of weight, and it lent 9 degrees, which is quite astounding for this length boat. We've delivered 3 boats in total now to the government, and they're really happy with the boats and the designs and the functionality, and we hope to continue to do many more. We're also doing recreational vessels as well, but we're more focusing on the commercial government sector. Create something that's worth having. It's overdone, you know, it's built, it's not going to break.